So in looking at the periodic table, what you've done is you've drawn a Bohr model of the elements on the periodic table. So what I want to do is connect the rows right now, or the periods, to the structure of the atoms. So I'm going to ask you if row 1 will come up to the front and hold your boards in front of you, and then we're going to talk about the first period. So for hydrogen, hydrogen is element number 1. That means it has 1 proton and 1 electron. So would you explain to us now about helium? So 2 protons and 2 electrons, and that's good. And if you look at the periodic table, that takes care of period 1. So the 1 corresponds to the number of orbitals or shells that the atoms have on that row. So thank you, ladies. So now if period 2 will go up, if you'll go in order, lithium, beryllium, and so forth. So if you're period 2, you go line up at the front. Move to the left a little bit, so everybody can get in. Okay. So I'm just going to ask you to name your element and tell how many protons and electrons it has.
This is lithium. It has 3 protons, 4 electrons.
So we're just going to do protons and electrons because they're equal.
Okay. Well, this is lithium. It has 3 protons and 3 electrons.
Okay, this is beryllium. It has 4 protons and electrons.
Carbon has 6 of each.
6 of each what?
Protons and electrons.
Thank you.
I have nitrogen and I have 7. I have oxygen and I have 8 of each. I got fluorine and I have 9 of each. I have neon and I have 10 of each.
Okay, so hold up just a minute. So in looking at the periodic table, we went for, now we did row 2. So in row 2, what happens? That means there are 2 orbitals or 2 energy levels. And notice how as you go across the periodic table and as you go across your drawings, we add 1 proton, 1 electron until we get to neon. And neon is, remember, the noble gas, and its outer orbital is filled. So row 2 means there's 2 orbitals. So thank you, row 2. So row 3. Would you guys please say protons and electrons when you describe those? Yeah, please give an order because it's part of the pattern.
Okay. I have sodium and I have 11 protons.
Electrons.
I have magnesium and I have 4 protons.
I have aluminum and 14 protons and 13 electrons.
Should be equal. If your silicon is 14, you should have 14 protons and 14 electrons. Okay?
I have phosphorus and I have 15 protons and 16 electrons.
If you should have the same number. Okay?
I have sulfur and I have 16 protons and 16 electrons. I have chlorine and I have 17 protons.
So as we look at the third row, or the third period, what you see is all of those elements have 3 orbitals, and as you move down the line, they add 1 proton and 1 electron until you get to the noble gas, which is, where's argon? It was Kareem, I'm sorry.
Kareem.
So go ahead and say what you have.
Argon, and I have 18 protons and 18 neutrons. And I have 3 orbitals.
Yeah, you should have 3 orbitals on there, you should, so. Okay, so thank you, so if you'll erase your boards, so Alex, if you'll, that's right.
But you guys did the face. What?
Okay guys, make sure,
What's the effect? You don't have to
take
come
the
on.
boards out of the box,
You guys are
and
ridiculous.
you need the green marbles and the
I
blue
beat you.
marbles. So if you'll take the board out of the box, and take the green and orange marbles,